and Goliath build that Midas has. Now Midas is in the center of the map. I think he knows that Arnc is at the 3 o'clock location. He's going to be trying to break these lurker legs. Meanwhile, a very, very fast hive here from Arnc. We'll see what he decides to produce. Could he be going Devours? I mean, or perhaps just all cracklings, I think, is more sensible. But he is at 3 gas, so we could be seeing something like a big air show here in this game. We could be seeing possibly, just possibly, Arnc going for big air here because really at this point he doesn't have lurkers, so getting Defilers and Zerglings, I mean, I don't know if that makes so much sense. I mean, it is pretty good against Mechanized actually, Defilers and Cracklings by themselves, but really at this point this game has definitely gone to you know, an uncommon permutation here in Terran versus Zerg. I think that's the word I want to use, permutation. And wow, now we're seeing the mechanized build here coming into fruition. The tanks shelling away at the 3 o'clock expansion. Arnc in a bit of trouble here in this game, and really this is, I think, thanks to the map Plasma, which I do like very much. And here comes the, oh man, beautiful Valkyrie control here. I haven't said those words yet in the commentary, beautiful Valkyrie control, but you lose the Valkyrie nonetheless. I think this other Valkyrie will now go down for Midas. Yeah, so Midas is, oh no, one more Valkyrie still hidden underneath. I thought they were gone, but now the Valkyries are finally finished with, but now I think Midas has enough Goliaths with the Charon boosters, so he doesn't need to worry about Valkyries anymore. And now he's trying to take up another expansion of his own. Arnc has actually picked up a hidden expansion, not really a hidden expansion, but one at the inside 5. So he needs to sustain that 3rd gas. He's using Midas Canals now to try to defend. And actually, we are going to see a switch to ground troops. So I was wrong about him going big air there. Actually, I think that actually would be less likely, given the fact that his opponent went for a mechanized build, and hence, I mean, Goliaths are just so good against Guardians, that wouldn't make any sense. But anyway, we are seeing the Ultralisk Cavern and the Defilers mount here, and we are going to be seeing this endgame units from Arnc, but I'm worried that he does not have the gas for it. He's trying to get up a Midas Canal in the back there. He's gotten 2 sunken colonies up now at the 5 o'clock location, but he needs more ground troops than just that. Midas Canal only halfway done. I think all he has are Cracklings ready to go through. I don't know if Cracklings are going to be enough, though, to defeat this combined armed force here. And we are seeing 2 Defilers, so the Defilers are out. Do they have Consume, and how will he be able to do? We'll have to see how good his micro is and how good Midas's micro is to avoid this this Dark Storm Zergling combination. And oh no, the hatchery is going down anyway though. So Arnc has lost 2 hatcheries, 2 expansions in succession. Here comes the Cracklings running through, and they are going to get among the tanks now. Midas not pulling back his tanks in time. He's going to lose all the tanks here through the Dark Storm. One more Dark Storm, and all the tanks will go down. Looks like he's not even going to need another Dark Storm. Arnc there, nice work by Arnc, killing off all the siege tanks. And I think he might have fought himself back in the game a little bit by killing off all those resource-heavy siege tanks. Now, a switch to ground could be successful for Arnc. Arnc with a couple of Mulisk left, 1 Valkyrie still left for Midas, and Midas now with reinforcements though coming up, and he's pumping out of 4 factories. He's picked up a 3rd base of his own, and he could pick up this mineral only very easily, of course, inside of his main base perimeter. Anyway, Zerglings in the center now for Arnc, and nice Dark Storm there. I don't think these Zerglings are Adreno upgraded. Yeah, those are not Cracklings there. Very surprising. I really don't know why Arnc has not upgraded Crack yet for his Adrenal upgrades for his Zerglings. I have to say that's a Savior-esque mistake. Savior, of course, being very famous for not upgrading them in the late game. I don't know why he didn't do that, but I'm just not sure if Arnc had them at that point. Hopefully he will remember to get those Adrenal glands, though, because if he's going for a Zergling Ultra combination, that's sort of absolutely essential. Yeah, I mean, okay, now he definitely has Crack upgrade. Never mind. Okay, I think he didn't have it before, though. But anyway, we're seeing him trying to use the Zerglings, unfortunately failing there. And just Zerglings versus lots of Goliaths. I don't know where his Defiler went. One of the Defilers got killed. I thought he had a 2nd Defiler somewhere around there. But it looks like he didn't. And the important thing is Arnc also needs to keep building the Scourge for another reason, not just because you know, he wants to have air dominance. It's because if he doesn't have Scourge to kill those Valkyries, eventually the Valkyries could just go and hunt down all of his Overlords, because Arnc doesn't have anything that shoots up. Basically, he has just Scourge to counter air units. And now he does have two Defilers out. We'll see how he does with these Cracklings. We still have not seen an Ultra yet. Oh, Plague going off on the Valkyries, though. Nice work. And Plague, of course, is one of the great vulnerabilities of a mechanized Terran army. They're very, very vulnerable to Plague because, obviously, they can't be healed. It just takes... it's so cumbersome to try to repair them with SCVs. It's basically a lost hope. So you're going to have a lot of one-hit weaklings. If Arnc can pull off one or two good Plagues, he could swing the game completely around for him, and you know, really change the game around. Here he goes with the Plague. Oh no, it's a Dark Swarm all over the tanks, and Midas once again a little bit slow, and oh, a Plague going off on the tanks also. Looks like what Arnc had was full upgrades for the Defilers, so he had 250 energy in those Defilers, which means he could cast a Dark Swarm and then a Plague at max energy, of course, and all of those Goliaths are plagued, so they're all going to be at 1 HP here, and if Arnc can hold this base, he still has a chance in this game, but the problem for him is that Midas has just such an economic lead by this point. He's got his science facility out finally. He can finally get out those science vessels, which, although he certainly won't be able to get as many of them as if it was SK Terran. Arnc going in once again with a great attack. He needs to save that Defiler, though. Another great Plague going off on all the mechanized units here. And oh, Arnc once again, though, losing all of his Cracklings. Man, he just needs a couple more Cracklings every time, or maybe just a few Ultralisks, and he could break through here. But really... unfortunately for him, he just every time Midas is still holding the field at the end of the battle. What Arnc needs to do is actually kill off all of the units for once and be able to pull a counterattack. He needs just one counterattack to even this game out completely. Right now, I'd still say though Midas is in the lead. Arnc charging in with Cracklings once again, but this time, really, yeah, that was sloppy play there by Arnc. Just a dozen Cracklings up for him, and now finally he has the Ultras out. He has the late game tech out. I actually think he shouldn't have even built that Ultras den so early if he wasn't planning on using it for so long, but now he finally, I think, has the upgrades he wants, and he's ready to go with the Ultralisks, and I think those Ultras should be able to help the Zerglings pick off all those forces now. Unfortunately for him, though, he does have a siege position here. Dark Storm being cast, though, near the tank, and Arnc's throwing in a couple of Zerglings here. He could pick off... No, it looks like he won't be able to pick off the tank, but now the Ultra is here, and I think finally he'll be able to pick off this tank. He needs another Dark Swarm, though, to be able to take advantage of this breakout he has here, and Arnc every time just seems to be dribbling in forces. That's, of course, not what he needs to be doing, and now this Ultralisk is going to be wasted here. So Arnc just throwing units at Midas. Midas barely able to hold on every time, but still able to hold on, and that is what's made the difference so far in every little battle here. And once again, Arnc sending a handful of units. I mean, partially he has to do this because otherwise he will lose that new expansion there, and he can't afford to lose it, obviously. But it's still, I think he needs to group up a little bit. And another Ultralisk now being sent out to die. Unfortunately for Arnc, he just needs to use the Swarm and the dribble of units to try to hold off this mechanized onslaught here. So I'd say this game so far, militarily is stalemate, but here comes Arnc with a big drop. This could swing the game completely around here if he manages to get the drop through. Looks like he's not going to take out this new expansion here. He's going to go for the main base. One Overlord going down, though, that's very costly for him, and Irradiate going off. Oh man, Irradiate's going off on those Ultralisks. Terrible for Arnc, and now the tanks are already in position that he really did not have the element of surprise, unfortunately, in this attack, and now I don't think this attack is really going to do too much. The Ultras are going to try to hold off these units a little bit, but I don't think the Zerglings have managed to do just enough, economic damage to make this drop worthwhile here. And yeah, really not enough damage here, unfortunately. I think Arnc should have been satisfied. I think he should have gone for one of the... I actually should have gone for the 3 o'clock expansion or the 9 o'clock one of the new ones, because they were much harder to defend than the main base would be. So I think he chose the wrong spot, basically, to attack. And Arnc still has not broken that whole gap, broken through that gap between the main bases, probably because he fears the Terran more than the Terran has to fear from him. Now he's going for another drop. We'll see if he drops on top of this expansion right now. I think that would be a wise idea if he just drops. He's definitely been spotted, though, so he needs to, you know, well, I'm not going to say it, or do something or get off the pot. Let's just put it that way. But, yeah, and here